morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a look at a couple of new special energy cards that look, well, at the risk of sounding terribly British, rather spiffing indeed. We have got single strike energy and rapid strike energy, and obviously one of those is for the new rapid strike Pokemon we've been talking about today, and one of them is for the new single strike Pokemon we've been talking about today. Who could possibly have seen that coming? Shout out to the lovely Antoine Boulet, one of our very favourites on this channel, for providing the translation, because Antoine is awesome, obviously. So, starting off then, let's have a look at Single Strike Energy. This is absolutely my bag. What it is a special energy, and it can only be attached to a single strike Pokemon. Now, this is important because sometimes, take Speed Lightning Energy as an example, you can attach an energy to anything, but it only gives a bonus when attached to a lightning Pokemon. So, Speed Lightning Energy is always a lightning energy, but it only lets you draw 2 cards when you attach it to a lightning Pokemon. Compare that with Flash Energy, that not only does it take away weakness from lightning Pokemon, but you cannot attach it to a non-lightning Pokemon, which is very important. This is only attached to a single strike Pokemon, Boo, Hiss, etc. But while it is attached to a Pokemon, it provides 1 dark or fighting energy. Essentially, cards like this, it exists as both a fighting and darkness energy, but only one at a time. It's only 1 energy, but it is a fighting energy, it's a darkness energy, blah, blah, blah. So, if your attack cost had both a fighting and a darkness in, this could pay either the fighting or darkness, but only one of them. Oh yeah, and attacks from this Pokemon deal 20 more to your opponent's active Pokemon. Strong Energy's back. Or Powerful Colorless Energy is now usable by more Pokemon. Doesn't really matter which one of those you go for, they are both special energy that let you do an extra 20 damage, and that is awesome. Really, really, really awesome. I am a huge fan of this. Now, look, I clearly want Strong Energy back to play it with Excadrill. You all know I do. That's not a huge secret. That extra 20 damage would be huge in so many matchups. But then Excadrill would randomly discard it, and that would be sad. So I don't know. The point is, this does a whole bunch of damage, and that's a good thing. Now, I have shown you a couple of single strike Pokemon. I've shown you Urshifu, and I've shown you Urshifu V. Well, Urshifu V and Urshifu V Max, you know what I mean? And shall we say that those are the kind of Pokemon that arguably could make very good use of this indeed. If we go back to Single Strike Urshifu V and V Max, you'll notice that Urshifu V's Impact Blow does 180 damage. With one of these, it does 200 damage. Now, 200 damage is relevant. There are a bunch of Pokemon out there you'll just miss, and this will get them, and yay, etc. But if you can add a second one on here and do 220, that is hyper relevant. Because now, all of a sudden, that Zacian V that you weren't KOing before, you absolutely are KOing now. And that is awesome. Going from 180 to 200 is fine, you'll get a few more Pokemon, but what you really want to do is get up and start carrying stuff like Zacian, and the point is that it's all in play here. You can play multiples of them. Now, I think we're going to need a ruling here, but I see no reason this couldn't work with B. Now, B is one of these lovely new cards, just came around in Vivid Voltage, one that I am somewhat of a fan of. I like B as a character. I like playing fighting decks, so this kind of all adds up really rather nicely. But B says discard the top 5 cards of your deck and attach any energy cards discarded in this way to your benched fighting Pokemon in any way that you like. So there's no reason this won't work with B. And now, clearly, we've not really seen too many of them, but clearly we're going to be talking fighting and darkness Pokemon. This isn't going to help you get the energy onto Darkness Pokemon, but it is going to help you get it onto Fighting Pokemon. And do remember that there's all kinds of things you can use like Oranguru to put one of these on the top of your deck and guarantee you hit it from a B, for argument's sake. And now we're rolling. Now you can attach loads of these, and I absolutely love it. I think the extra damage is huge. I think it's wonderful. I think the fact you can use it with B is fantastic. I think the fact that it is limited to single strike Pokemon is obviously going to hurt it a bit, but really here, it is a great card that is going to help. And the thing is, we haven't seen many of these yet, but we will. We will see a whole bunch more single strike Pokemon from now until this rotates out, or they stop making single and rapid strike Pokemon, which, to be honest, will probably happen first. And they are all going to be able to be used with this, and that is going to make a gigantic difference. But maybe even more than that, I like Rapid Strike Energy. Now, Rapid Strike Energy amuses me. I kind of knew this was coming, purely because if you watch the trailer, it's in the trailer. And now it's a real card. Although weirdly, even though it's in the trailer, it's only been revealed in Japanese. More cards have been revealed in Japanese and English. I'm not entirely sure why. Hey ho. And what we've got here is a special energy card, and shockingly enough, it can only be attached to a Rapid Strike Pokemon. Who could possibly have seen that coming? But while it is attached to a Pokemon, it provides 2 water/fighting energy. So it provides 2 energy, but those 2 energy, it could be 2 water, it could be 2 fighting, it could be 1 of each, etc. Of course, a Rapid Strike Pokemon, we are looking at fighting and water, but Rapid Strike Urshifu is fighting and water, in the same way that Single Strike is fighting and darkness, and that makes kind of perfect sense to me. And I love this, because double energy cards have always been good. Twin energy sees a bunch of play at the moment. Of course it does. It's awesome. Double dragon energy saw a bunch of play. And if you want to go right back a while, you could go double rainbow energy or scramble energy. And these were all very good cards indeed. I love this. This is really, really nice. And it's just going to make all these Pokemon more viable. One of the ones I showed you earlier today was Empoleon V, which is coming in this same set. And Empoleon V's got 1 attack. It's a rather nice attack. For 3 energy, you do 130 damage and move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench. So that means that you do 130 for this and 1 more energy. But being a basic Pokemon I mentioned in the video, maybe you use Turbo Patch. Or maybe you use Tapu Koko because it accelerates lightning energy, but there's a colorless energy in your cost, so you're alright. Or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then you have got this going easily. This turns Empoleon into, as long as you're playing a fast enough deck with enough drawing options, a legitimate turn 1 attacker. And bearing in mind, it turns off abilities of basic Pokemon that don't have rule boxes, i.e. single prize non-Prism Star Pokemon, which means that Empoleon all of a sudden becomes so much better. It means that you're sitting there turn 1 hitting 130 damage, while your opponent isn't able to use stuff like Jirachi to set up. That sounds like fun to me. And I'm an Empoleon fanboy, so I'm blatantly going to try and make this work. But oh my goodness, this sounds like an awful lot of fun. And of course, we have also seen the corresponding Urshifu. So we've seen Rapid Strike Urshifu and Urshifu V Max. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not loving it as much. I mean, Rapid Strike Urshifu V, same deal. You can play this and a Turbo Patch and get turn 1, 150. Clearly, I'm a fan of that. But what I really like about Rapid Strike Urshifu V Max is Gale Thrust, that if you became active this turn, you do 150 damage. But having said that, G-Max Rapid Flow makes you discard all the energy from this Pokemon and then does 120 to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. And of course, we've always got that lovely Telescopic Sight card that just came out, which will mean that if you're hitting a GX or V on the bench, it's actually 150. And if you can get 1 more energy on their return, then this can help you do this turn after turn. Both of these special energy cards are huge. I think the Rapid Strike one is better. I think being able to pay these, especially when you're talking about Pokemon Vs and potentially using Turbo Match for silly turn 1 options, it's so good. But again, there are going to be other Rapid Strike Pokemon that are going to be released that are going to be able to take advantage of this, and I absolutely love it. Though to answer a question I have seen a few times already, no, this cannot be attached using Frostmoth. Do remember that this only counts as a water energy when it is attached, and Frostmoth is attaching water energy from your hand, so anything along those lines unfortunately won't work with this. When it's in your hand, when it's in the discard pile, etc., it is not a fighting or water energy, and any cards like Frostmoth that need it to be won't unfortunately work with it. I'm going to go ahead and give the... I don't know. It's so hard to score these cards. Let's give the single strike between 4 and 5 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. This one might end up being a bit stingy. And the Rapid Strike, let's go ahead and just give it 5 Wassies. I think this is a phenomenal card. The only reason these cards won't end up being phenomenal, ridiculous, over-the-top, brokenly awesome cards is because we don't get good enough partners for them. If we get decent partners for any of these cards, they are going to be just over-the-top, ridiculous, phenomenal cards. You have my word on that. But I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.